and today I have a video by popular demand. It's a very thorough documentary on my rod locker systems. I have one that's fully tubed and kitted in for specific rods, and then I have a just a non-tube rod locker stow. I did both of them for specific reasons, but I really wanted to get this video out by popular demand to show you guys how I did them. Check them out. Alright guys, so first off, I framed the crap out of this boat with inch thick foaming, and I stacked it up in sections where it's 2 inches, mainly for rigidity and support. It's pretty high density foam. It's mold and insect resistant. It's skinned on both sides, on some sides with a tech shield, so I can actually insulate parts of the boat a little bit better than others, so it's pretty kosher. Can I pull this off? Let me see. No, I can't. Oh. Success, I think. Yep, that's about as good as it's gonna get. I'll be using gloves for this, but whatever. This is probably one of the only ways you can really truly effectively preserve non-marine grade plywood. What we're using here is a very, very thin sheet. This is less than a 1/4 inch sheet of plywood. The whole 4x8 sheet weighs around 15 pounds. That's it. Okay, and I'll be putting roughly 2 of those into this boat. I'm using this as an alternative to like the matting, or some people have even like done so far as just a carpet or grip line foam just by itself, or use that that pretty thick garage matting. And so that's a pretty good way to go too. I just don't have a lot of faith in its rigidity and ability to do what I needed to do as far as its ability to give a flat surface. Yeah, but we're gonna actually line this in with very, very thin plywood. I can actually mount stuff to this plywood, and I plan on mounting my rod holder system, the very, very back end of my rod holder system, in here. I'm only going to have one true rod locker that stores, rods like through tubes and holsters, and then the other one's going to be a free tube, just a free rod locker that I can store anything in. I really want 10 to 12 of my top rods, my go-to, like my babies. I want them protected and in rod sleeves and stuck in this locker under a locked, boat latch. So that's really, I'm putting a lot of, time into this locker, because that's what it needs to do. You need to put time into your rod lockers if you're gonna do them. You need to do them right. So you want to wash this before, this is very, very water soluble glue before it cures and becomes, you know, not able to be compromised by water, but if you let it dry too long, it kind of ruins it. It needs these little grooves. So I have enough grooves to make this one last, but this is eventually gonna have to go in the trash. I got a new one. Another thing people do, they let the glue tack up. That's really good for carpenter like applications, but for this, I swear it's a terrible idea for marine grade carpet because you really want it to soak in there. Because water is going to be on this a lot, especially when you're going up like raised structures like this. You don't want the glue to tack up. You want to smush that in there so that some of the glue gets enmeshed in the carpet by itself. Because I swear, if it doesn't do that, the carpet will start to bunch up and it'll start to part. I think marine grade carpet's really the hardest to apply up vertical surfaces or a parallel. You know, it's just a pain. You want the glue to be as pliable as possible. You don't want it to be tacked. And sometimes this glue, just you open it and close it, open it and close it enough times, it will start to tack up by its. But if you put it on there when you have to tack it, then you don't have to roll it or anything. And honestly, if you tack it, if you let the glue tack and then you try and roll it later, the glue is already thick and stuck, so you're not really going to get any air bubbles out of that glue. This is pretty thick stuff. When it tacks up, it tacks up. It's not easy to get off. You'll never ever ever get it out. And you know, people will just. That's the only bad thing. But otherwise, like letting your glue tack up for these applications is, I don't think it's the best thing. I've had better stuff. I've had better success over the course of building 6 boats. I mean, 5 of them at least that I've carpeted. Why I didn't let the glue tack. I'm gonna run out of glue. Son of a bird. Also, an advantage of not tacking the glue is that right now I have some leeway to slide the carpet up. Like once you put the glue on the carpet, it's hard for it to. It's gonna be very, very hard for you to make minor adjustments. Like right now, my placement staples came out. Stupid staples. And so now I have to do some more adjustment in pulling the carpet up. Now if that glue was really tacked, that would be really hard to do. But you can just get out your own air bowls and make out your own flat surfaces. And you know, it's not like it's chopped liver or anything. It picks up and molds in, so we're good to go right here. Then once this is all in, I'll secure the actual frame. Snugs right into the angled aluminum. That's the one good thing about the angled that I really appreciated, at least for its contribution to complex framing, is that you can shove stuff and complex stuff in there and it sits flush. Kind of like these day boxes. I really stored a big day box inside the aluminum because the aluminum flushed around the day box. We're gonna keep on tubing these. Sawzall bimetal blade leaves less gashes on this. You could cut it with a grinder, and a cutting disc actually does it pretty clean. But right now, I'm just going to use a Sawzall with a bimetal blade, just really for cutting aluminum. But it really leaves a clean mark through here. It doesn't leave as big. If you try and cut this with a standard like wood saw blade, it'll jack this plastic up. tight now. Oh man. I don't even know if that's gonna sit flush now. Oh yeah, well. Barely. That's money. Yeah. 12 rod tubes. I ran twin conduits on each side. I ran one down the whole tube here. The last little bit of angle, I freaking hole sawed it with a bimetal blade through each port, and I pulled out a second conduit, which is pretty cool because if I want to run LEDs, like I may, I really needed that second conduit. I mean, running everything through the side conduits is kind of a little tedious. I really want my side conduits for all the navigation wires and the trolling and whatever, you know, like the fish finders and all that stuff. And then I want these smaller, and I'm gonna put another one down there on that side. I just haven't done it yet. These smaller conduits are gonna be for running the lights and all the other nonsense that I need to get running. Maybe the aerators. I've thought about putting aerator fans into this thing. I'm not really sure I can do it now because it's really, really thick now. But I thought about it just to kind of aerate everything. But we'll see how that goes. Not sure if it's gonna happen. Okay, so we got the tubeless locker in. So it's gonna be a pretty big, huge deal here. We're gonna cap it off right here for obvious reasons. We're gonna run the wire looming through here. Overall, it's gonna work out pretty well. I'm just gonna do the flooring, and then we're ready to put. This is what I got for you. This is what the whole video is about. Psych. All right, this is what I got for sure. Okay, this is the front. It turned out pretty well so far. I'm actually really surprised with how it all came together. I mean, you can think about it in your head, but until you see it, like actually physically here, it's something else. But these are my rod holders. I kind of took this idea from Ranger. Ranger had a similar deal to this with rubber bands. You know, the bungees that kind of loop the same system. But these are just Atwood vertical rod holders that I got from Walmart. And I actually like the Velcro in a little bit better because that means I don't have to. It's just better. I can actually just pull these, and the rod just lifts right out. I don't have to finagle them in and out of a tube and push in and pull, or finagle them out of a bungee. So they're just right in here, and back they go. And they're snug in there. They ain't gonna go nowhere. I just made this kind of little pillar out of wood. Just a simple, I mean, this is my way of replicating some of what Ranger did. Ranger makes exceptional bass boats, so I did a 12 rod hookup here. I'm not gonna stick 12 rods in here, probably 10 to 11. But I have 12 rod tubes for versatility. So this bigger one did not like this one, so I stuck it straighter. So I just kind of curved it over, and it went into the second over rod tube. So it's kind of more rod tubes up front, the better. I would stick more, but I need room for my shallow stow, which is going to go right here. It's going to go in the panel. It's actually going to recess down 1.5 inches, and it's just going to be a shallow stow all the way across. It sits pretty much on top of the pipes. And that's going to be, I have to have the shallow stow. I have that mod in all my other boats. I cannot live without it. It's just the best mod ever. Like, out of everything, I could not give up the shallow stow. Box mods. This used to be my day box. That used to be what I used to just throw random stuff in when I was on the fly fishing. And now I have 2 like installed day boxes with drain ports that are insulated fully. And so I can make a mini coolers, mini bait wells, whatever I want to do. One's generally going to be like a now cooler, like for all my immediate drinks and stuff, and then the other one's going to be holding all my bait attractants, like my on the fly baits, you know, my worm bags, all those things. This is my non-tube rod storage, and I like this one a lot. This one's going to be for all the awkward reels. I could never find all my replications to try and make an efficient spinning rod locker. It just didn't really work. And then I'm running so many baitcasters now. It's just, this is just really for my spinning rods and for my oblong big reels, like when I go catfishing and I just have stupid huge reels. Those things aren't going to fit in a tube locker. They're not going to fit kosher. And then also I have my paddles down here. I'm going to have another paddle. These are big. These are legit paddles. These are paddles you're going to stick into oar locks and then paddle, because I will paddle this thing. This is still a John boat. This is not a real bass boat. If push comes to shove and my motor goes out and my trolling motor goes out, I will friggin' row this thing like a boss. I'll do it. And so it's working out. The middle stoves work out. I shoved all my tackle. I used to run 2.5 totes worth of tackle in my other boats. I shoved them all in one tote. That's how big these 25-gallon tough boxes are. They stow, I don't know, man, so many. How many are here? One, that's a double. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 down the spine, 13 regular ones. You can throw more on there. I mean, the lips are pretty high. That's the big advantage of this Utilitech system that I made here. It's a 1-inch system. The whole thing, even the riser bar, 1 inch all the way down. 1 inch all the way across. Not including the joiner bars. The joiner bars are for the decking, so the decking is its own thing that we laid on the frame, but the frame itself is a 1-inch system all the way down. It's pretty sick. And so that's how we're able to get such high storage out of this and still have all the advancements. You know, it's something I couldn't really pull off with my wooden systems, but I picked up a lot of interesting tricks doing this one that I can apply to my wooden systems. The next boat I'm going to do is going to be out of redwood, and I think it's going to be a super advanced. It's going to be a 3.1 system here. It'll be pretty sick, but this is what I got, guys. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Stay tuned for the transom video. That transom is a piece of crap. It had serious problems, and it's going to be a hilarious video. Wait for it. And then just wait for the back. I have ideas how I'm going to do the back. I just want to be extra sure the front pans out how I want it to pan out, and then the back is going to be kosher. Guys, if you like this video and you like the boat you saw, subscribe to my channel and check out my playlist. I have a playlist dedicated to this boat from start to finish, from all the hull repairs to the framing to the kitting, the fabricating, all that stuff. It's all right in there. And I also have very similar things for each of my other boat builds and a slew of other playlists. All of them that are really dedicated towards helping DIY builders to find new ideas. Ryan at Fire and Fishing, and John at Outlaw and Garage and Restoration for helping me run TBNation. Thank you guys. You guys have done so much. The community is growing huge. We're getting like members every day, like tons and tons of them just pouring in. If you're a DIY boat builder and you're not a part of our group, you're missing out. It's like peanut butter without jelly. I don't know. Do something about it. Join and check us out. Peace.